Jesus Freak here. Now, you probably noticed the last couple days have been experimenting with some simple computer animation. And, you might wonder what exactly the point was for that. Well, there's a few. For one, if I lose my voice and have to use a synthetic voice, I can use the technology to at least give me some sort of an animated face to the voice. The other is, given the way that I've been doing some of the videos, it saves some work because, first of all, I do a lot of my editing by audio. Editing by video is kind of tricky for me, and it's easier to work from audio. Yeah, that's good. A little more. So, one thing I've done a few times was I'll record video only once, and I'll record audio twice. And sometimes that works. For example, for the call-outs at the beginnings of the videos, that works. Most of the time the wording is almost exactly the same, and the patching is just, replacing these and nows. But sometimes it doesn't. This also, the same thing holds for sounds, because the Nasby Psalter is relatively similar to that of the King James. It's like, I like being in front of the camera. But it's a lot of work cutting everything up. And I only have a limited ability to compensate for trips of the tongue, long pauses, stuff like that. And it's just easier to record audio and then have the computer fudge the rest for me. Now, there's no AI or anything like AI involved in this. It's actually all hand-drawn. Completely hand-drawn. When you saw the animation demonstration, everything there was hand-drawn. The basic drawing of me, which was exactly what you usually see, me sitting behind my laptop, just, in my normal position. All I did was I took a photograph with my phone, took it in my computer, and I traced it. the pixelated, quantized look is actually my art style. And it's something I've been doing for about 25 years. First times I was doing the stuff, I was doing it with screenshots from a Game Boy emulator. I'd use it to draw Pokemon. Yeah. Remember, 25 years ago is 2000. Pokemon was at its zenith then. Now, what I did is I created this basically hand-drawn illustration of myself. I took a few more pictures, traced them off, but I only used one of those. It was a picture of me holding the Book of Common Prayer. I've got a few books of Common Prayer. The one I'm holding up is the one I bought most recently, the black one. And mostly this is the same thing. I traced it all off. Because Garamond is a font that's a little bit too hard to trace. I actually used the copy of Garamond that I had on my computer and retyped it. So you're going to see that probably in about a week. Because I'm using this on next week's Sunday morning video. Mostly as a technology demo. Now, the way this is done, yeah, it's just, it's a static talking head, so there's not a lot of life to it. Kind of like early television animation in like the 1960s. Hanna-Barbera, Filmation. There's a lot of, talking head animation. And that's what this is. The demonstration used 3 mouth movements. But I've actually animated for the new one, I've animated 6. Also, I have the ability to do what I call facades. Through the facade system, I can overlay a new shirt if I want. I can overlay a different book. Right now, I'm only set up to do 3 facades. The first facade is the Book of Common Prayer. The second facade is I painted out the cover and then rewrote Holy Bible King James Version on it. And then I did another one that says New American Standard Bible instead of King James Version. And so I can go in, edit the audio, and it'll be, the audio is already more natural than the video because I'm using the audio to edit the video. But now the video is generated from the audio. I can do whatever I want with the audio and I can test it, make sure it's perfect. In fact, I can test it better now when I'm animating than when I'm shooting and using live video. So this actually means that, there's a sacrifice. It doesn't look very realistic. It's talking head animation. But in return, I don't have to worry about tripping on my tongue as badly. This could also, for example, be useful if I decide to, and I do have the rights I need to do this, um, for some part. I still have to find enough hymns to fill in the gap, but to do my videos in Spanish. The problem here is that there's not as much translated material, so I have to substitute hymns a lot. And, well, I'm just an average person. It's hard enough to write hymns in your native language to rewrite them in another language. So I might, if I start doing the videos in Spanish, probably be closer to what I was doing before. No hymns. But I have to finish translating the collects because the existing translations got issues, especially the official ones, which are way too off base. If you thought the Episcopal Church was woke in 1979, woke, I don't like to use that word. I don't like the idea of simplifying the language in translation. And in fact, a lot of this stuff started out in Latin. Spanish is a better carrier language, a better receptor language than English is, honestly. It's like, yeah, if I could, I'd rather do it all in front of the camera. But you're really going to see the seams, and you've seen that already. This is going to be especially a problem on the longer videos, like the Palm Sunday video, where I might not have the stamina to record a whole segment, let alone the whole video in one pass. And not having to do that, not having to worry about continuity. Make it a little easier. Again, there's nothing AI about this. This is just simple audio analysis and hand animation. And a computer putting everything together. The closest anything gets to AI is the denoising I use. Anyway, Jesus freak out.